Hey everyone, I hope y'all are having a great day. Today I am sick and not feeling awesome, and the weather outside is really cold and gloomy, and you know, it's just one of those days where you don't want to do anything productive at all, and you ate like a sleeve of Thin Mints as your breakfast and you want to cut off your own head because it feels like it weighs 80 pounds. It's one of those days, so I thought I would do something that should be a little bit fun, and I'm going to rank popular YA books using like this tier maker that everybody's been doing on Twitter. And I watched Maddie Ness from My Name is Maddie Ness do a video version of it, and I thought it was really fun, and so I'm stealing the idea. So prepare to get your feelings hurt as I tell you whether your faves are God tier or shit tier. Let's do it. Okay, so this is what the tier system looks like. There's God tier, great tier, good tier, okay tier, bad tier, shit tier, and haven't read it. I'm afraid that a lot of things are going to be in haven't read it because I'm a little bit illiterate. So let's start with, I guess, what's at the top. Oh god, there are so many. Okay, The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. I love The Raven Boys. I love that trilogy. My favorite is probably The Dream Thieves, the second one, but I'm going to pretend that they're talking about the entire series. I think it's definitely great tier for me. Not quite God tier, but great tier. Excellent writing, amazing characters. Now, what's next? Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. I do really enjoy Strange the Dreamer. What's really hard is that, like, if you go back to my book reviews where I talk about these books, I'm sure that I gush. But tier systems, they're honestly a little bit dependent on the longevity of how you feel about it. So maybe in the moment you really loved it, but how do you feel about it now that it's been, you know, like a year since you read it, so on and so forth. So like whatever your lingering feeling is really what you're gonna end up using as a measure of your tier system. The Strange the Dreamer, I really enjoyed it while I was reading it, but I think I'm gonna put it in good tier. It's a good book. It's also a great book. Oh, this is hard. I'm gonna say good tier. Okay. Six of Crows, that shit slaps. Great tier for sure. Not quite God tier for me. I don't even know what God tier would be really, but Six of Crows, incredible book. I love that duology. I have book reviews up for it. Children of Blood and Bone. I really enjoyed this while I read it, but my lingering feeling of it is not like, you know, I'm obsessed with it. I think it's better than okay. I really do want to say it's okay, but I do think it's better than okay. Let's say good tier. Maybe I'll rearrange it. Renegades, that's easy. I haven't read it. Three Dark Crowns, again, haven't read it, although I did like Kendar Blake's, what is it, Girl Dressed in Blood? I don't know, that's a little bit of a throwback book, but Illuminae, I started reading that, and I never ended up finishing it, so haven't read it. Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda. I do like this book. The thing is, like, I like this book, but then when I compare it to Strange the Dreamer or Children of Blood and Bone, I definitely think Strange the Dreamer and Children of Blood and Bone are pretty superior. So I think I'm gonna put this in okay tier. Oh no, this is looking homophobic. Okay. So All the Boys I Loved Before by Jenny Han. I do like this series. Ultimately, it's just okay. Next, we have A Court of Thorns and Roses. You guys. I hate this book. I hate it. It's disgusting. It's abusive. We do not stand Sarah J. Maas on this channel, so Diviners Will Live Before I haven't read it. Sorry. Shadow and Bone. Shadow and Bone is boring, is the thing. It's not bad, but it's not awesome. So I want to say okay tier, but again, I'm having that situation where the other books on the shelf are definitely better. Like Simon and also Tell the Boys are definitely better than Shadow and Bone in my opinion. So, do I feel bad? I don't think it's a bad book, but it's not as good as the okay books. Whatever. Anna and the French Kiss, that's definitely good tier. Good tier for me. Is it problematic? Yes. For a long time, I would always recommend it as the best contemporary book I'd ever read. Thunder for me is definitely okay tier. It's like just fine. Throne of Glass, I'm gonna put it at shit tier. I liked it when I read it, but in retrospect, SJM, we don't stand. Darkest Minds, I'm gonna put in bad tier. I didn't enjoy that book. I used to have a book review up for it on the channel, and then I got a lot of hate because I didn't like it, and so I privated it. Divergent, oh, this used to be my favorite book of all time, in case you didn't know and you're new to this channel, but I was obsessed with this book for like a solid 6 years of my life. Good tier. I'm gonna put it on good tier. It's a good book. I still stand by that. Twilight. Am I gonna get hate for putting it on good tier? I love Twilight. I grew up on it. I first read it in the 4th or 5th grade. I read the entire series in 5th grade, and it's my most reread book, and I understand everything that's wrong with it. Trust me, I reread that, and I'm like, God, this is gross. Super bad behavior. but I can't get over what it has done for culture, what it has done for the young adult genre, what it has done for so many writers out there who probably read Twilight and were like, gosh, I feel so inspired to write. I can't get over what it's done for me personally as a reader and also as a writer, and so many vocabulary words I learned from Twilight. So, you know, I really gotta give it its props. I understand it's problematic, do not worry. Like, seriously, I get it, but I still really love that book. Okay, selection shit tier. Oh god, that series is garbage. It's absolute garbage. Hush Hush, never read it. Matched, bad tier. That book is not good. Shiver, never read it. Hunger Games. This is tough. I think culturally it's God tier, which I know is what Mighty Nest did, and I do think that's like a valid decision. Culturally, Hunger Games killed it, but it's not a book that I like really reached for. I'm gonna do great tier. It really stands up. It really stands up against time, in my opinion. Fault in Our Stars. This is another book that I think really stands against time. I think there was a wave in which everybody loved it and then everybody hated it, but I still think it's a good book, and when I reread parts of it, I'm like, damn, that is really excellent writing. I love John Green's writing, and I think this book had his best characters, in my opinion, the least annoying characters. So I'll put that in good tier. This, like, good neighbors, I think. Okay. Harry Potter, that's God tier for sure. Harry Potter is God tier. Even though we do not stand J.K. Rowling, even though she sucks and has made many a poor decision, Harry Potter is a cultural phenomenon, and it has excellent storytelling, and there's so many lessons that you can learn from those books. Perks of Being a Wallflower, that's bad tier for me. The thing is, it's like probably one of my least favorite books I've ever read, just in like enjoyability, because it wasn't my preference, but it's not shit tier, as in that it's not like problematic in the way that Sarah J Maas always says, so I'm gonna say bad tier. I'm really sorry. I know a lot of people really like Perks, and it's like a very beloved book, and I really respect that, but it was really not my style. Eleanor and Park, great tier. I think Eleanor and Park is great tier. You can come at me all you want, and you can say like, oh, Sophia, you have so much internalized racism if you think this book is good, but I really think the writing in that book, fantastic. And it got so much praise, right? It was like a Prince Honor book, I'm pretty sure. It deserves it. It's an excellent book. And I think Monica has spoken on this too, about her enjoyment of the book, even though she's half Korean. You can call it racist, and I'll respect that, but also respect that I love this book. So that's that on that. Looking for Alaska, sorry. I'm sorry, I have to put it on bad tier. I'm sorry, John Green, but that book really was not for me. It's incredibly pretentious. Maze Runner, I tried reading it, it was so boring I never finished it. Book Thief, this is a good book. This is a good book. Book Thief is a good book. Lightning Thief, that's God tier for me, I'm sorry. You gotta put it on God tier. Percy Jackson, God tier. And that's not a pun on the fact that he's the son of the sea god. Hate You Give, I'm gonna say that's a good book. Gosh, the thing is, like, the lessons of it, I want to say make it great, but the writing of it makes it okay, right? So thematically, here. The way it was actually written and execution, definitely okay. So I think I'll balance it out and put it on good. Clockwork Angel, like, I loved Clockwork Angel when I was in middle school when I read it. Now I'm like a very anti-Cassandra Clare person, but I want to recognize that I really love The Infernal Devices. I'm gonna put it in okay. Daughter of Smoke and Bone, good. That's a good book. That's an excellent book. Okay. Vampire Academy, bad tier. I did not enjoy that book. It was pretty bad. Which sounds redundant, but really, like, the writing was gross, the plot was dumb, it was really not my style. Delirium, that's solidly okay. I love the concept of it. Lauren Oliver has beautiful writing. The trilogy itself, like, really goes downhill, but Delirium, good book. Red Queen, never read it. I probably will never read it. Doesn't seem like my taste. Aristotle and Dante Discover the Universe, that's great tier. That's a book that I, like, gift a lot, because I think it's a book that anybody could kind of enjoy and see value in. It feels like literary fiction, but in young adult writing, if that makes sense. But it's an excellent book. I feel similarly about The Shadow and Bone and The Fifth Wave. The thing is, I also kind of feel similarly about Cinder and The Fifth Wave. I'm gonna put it okay tier. I think it's okay. Everything, bad. That's a bad book. It's just like a horrible love story about, like, risking your life for a boy that you don't know, which is dumb. Very dumb. Before I Fall, solidly okay. That one's okay. Fallen, bad. This was, like, kind of before BookTube was a thing, I think, Fallen, because it's kind of old. But yeah, it's just dumb. Gosh, there's so many left. I'm so tired. Okay. Shatter Me. This is tough. Do I put it in bad or shit? It's a book I really, really, really dislike. Okay, I'm gonna redo this and say shit is like things that I would really, really not recommend to other people. Because like these books, I could see why people would enjoy them, even if I didn't like them. These, I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna change these. These are books that I really don't see any merit in, and you shouldn't recommend them. Carry On, I think it was okay. I remember really liking it at the moment, but in retrospect, now that I've had some distance from it, it's just okay. I'll Give You the Sun, great tier. Aristotle and Dante and I'll Give You the Sun are actually books that I often pair together when I gift them, because I think they're both what I imagine to be like literary fiction and young adult. Like, it is just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous storytelling. Wrath in the Dawn, very okay. Super okay. Wicked Lovely, I've never read. Winter's Curse, great tier. I thought about putting a god tier actually, because it's one of my favorite series of all time. I love the Winter's Curse trilogy. I've talked about it a lot on this channel, but maybe not enough if you haven't read it. So if you haven't read it, read it. It's so, so good. Gentleman's Guide, I haven't read it. Young Elites, it's not one of my favorites. Yeah, I'll put it bad. Gone, tried reading it, was bored, never read it. Side, I do want to read. It sounds super interesting, but I never read it. The Host, never read it. 13 Reasons Why. This is tough because I read it when I was really, really young, back when everyone thought it was a good book, and like now in retrospect, everybody's like, oh, this is really problematic, and it handles suicide absolutely horribly with no grace and no craft. Oh, I'll put it in bad. Oh, I don't know. It's hard. Beautiful Creatures, I never read. Every Day, never read. Darker Shade of Magic, never read. Jack the Ripper, oh, this is getting easy, thank God, never read. Foxhole Court, never read. 5 Feet Apart, never read. All the Right Places, never read. Would never read. I heard this one handles mental illness. I said mental illness. I heard this book handles mental health and mental illness really, really, really terribly. Warcross, not great. I'll put it here. Sorry. Sorry, Marie Lou. Astonishing Color of After. I think this is a good book. Ooh, but it's not as good as the books I actually put in the good tier. It's definitely along the lines of the okay tier. On Becoming a Murder. Oh, garbage. Garbage, garbage, garbage. Fangirl. This for me is god tier. Is that crazy? Fangirl is like honestly one of my favorite books of all time. And it's a book I reread really often, and it's a book that I didn't enjoy that much when I first read it. Like on the first read, I probably would put it in good or okay tier, but it's gotten a lot closer to my heart now that I've actually gone through college. And it's actually a book that I tell other people to read if I want them to understand me better, because I think Kath and I are really, really similar. It's god tier for me. It's god tier for Sophia, absolutely. Ugh. Aragon, never read. Oh my god, it's the last one. We've made it to the end. The Cruel Prince. It's definitely between good and okay. There are definitely problems with it, but it's so fun. You know what I'm saying? Gosh, I don't know. Like, there are parts where it really drags, but there are also parts where it's so much fun to read, and it's so addictive. I think because it's recent in my head, I'm gonna put it in good tier, but if you give it a few months, it'll drop down to okay tier. Here it is. This is my final ranking of popular YA books. It's a little bottom heavy. Oh, just kidding, that's haven't read it. So if we take away this, it's like a pretty good distribution, you know? That's like a pretty even bell curve, I would say. But yeah, did I offend you with my choices? Do you think these were warranted? Is it crazy that I put Twilight on good tier? Maybe, maybe. These are all valid questions. Thank you so much for going with me on this journey of creating this ultimate YA book / series tier list maker. Let me know if you think I'm nuts for making certain decisions. I would love to know. Or if you're like, yeah, no, I see where you're going with this. Also, if any of these books at the bottom that I haven't read are things that I must read, let me know, because I'm not reading anything right now, and I'm always down for a good rec. Thank you so much for watching. I hope y'all have a fantastic day, and happy reading. Bye.